Hello, Griffin scholars and guardians and parents. This presentation will go through the Winnetonka High School Guide to High School and College Eligibility. I'd like to take just a minute to introduce an important person in our activities office. Miss Sam Nunley is my admin assistant. Sam is starting her first full year in the activities office here at Winnetonka. We're excited about the future as Sam brings a wealth of knowledge and skills to our activities team. Sam comes to us from Maple Park, and most recently, let me change that real quick. We get all these awesome bells here at Winnetonka during the day. That Sam comes to us from Maple Park and also our main office. She is really great, and we're excited about the future here. She has a great rapport and relationship with the adults and the students that come our way in the activities office. If you need anything in terms of Winnetonka activities, please contact Sam at 816 413 3790 or her email that's at the bottom of the screen. I am Jared Barge. I'm the Assistant Principal and Activities Director here at Winnetonka. I'm starting my 25th year of education and my 15th year here at Winnetonka, with 7 of those being an Activities Director here. Among all of the crazy work and time away from my family with this job, I love it. It's my dream job. When I was younger, I wanted to be a professional athlete, but then as I got into high school, I realized that I really wanted to be either a football coach or be an activities director, because we had an awesome activities director at the high school that I graduated from. I love doing this job, even though um, it's a lot on most days. I love being able to serve our students and our parents here in the Winnetonka community. And I do my very best every day to meet the needs of our staff and students here, in terms of activities. You can reach me at 816-321-4093 or my email address below. If you need anything involving activities, please reach out to me. I want to talk to you real quick about my story leading up to our talk about eligibility. My high school years, and even before high school, it, I was not traditional. Being a traditional student was very hard, and I didn't like school. In fact, I tell kids a lot when I was younger, I hated going to school. I hated it. It was not easy. In my high school years, luckily in my middle school and high school career, I ran into some really important people, coaches and teachers that took a liking to me and noticed that I had a talent to play sports. I became a heavily recruited football and track and field athlete in high school. But like I said, traditional school was really hard for me, and I got mostly C's and D's in my core classes. By the end of my high school career, I didn't do very well on the ACT, and I was a late qualifier for eligibility in a Division I school. Luckily, MU in Columbia, the University of Missouri, stuck with me, and I loved being there. I loved Columbia. I loved being a Tiger football player, but I almost flunked out of school my freshman year because I just didn't have enough tools in my tool belt to be successful there. Even though with lots of help, I was kind of behind the 8 ball, and it was really hard for me to make ends meet there academically. I ended up transferring to the University of Washburn, which was a great thing for me, even though I loved Columbia. At Washburn, there were smaller class sizes. There were more resources for me to get help with school, and I became a 4-year starter there at Washburn. And one of my biggest accomplishments is through the help of some great teachers and coaches there at Washburn, I turned myself into an A and B student and graduated there with a combined degree from Washburn and UCM in kinesiology and a master's in the art of teaching. And I now have 3 college degrees, including my specialist from William Woods, and then I'm working now on my 4th college degree to get my doctorate in education from William Woods, and I'm also pursuing that at this point right now. I'm very blessed to tell folks now that I struggled a lot academically when I was in school, and nothing ever came easy. And through hard work and lots of great people that have helped me along the way, I'm very blessed to have a great job because of my 3 degrees. I have an amazing family that's super supportive of the crazy job that I do here, and I love the fact that I have lots of support from home. Um, I wouldn't be where I'm at today without the people that I met, the coaches and the teachers throughout my life who've pushed me to be a better version of me. And sports really, truly saved my life in many different ways. So that's a little bit about my story. Real quick, what we believe in here at Winnetonka. When I was asked to put this together by Dr. Eric Johnson, who's now at Central Office, he wanted to know what do I hang my hat on, what do I believe in, and I created this uh, rubric, as you would say, about what I think it means to be a great Winnetonka Griffin. And I'm just going to leave you with a quick quote. I love this quote from Pele. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, a love for what you do and what you're learning to do. So I just think that's a great quote as we lead into the eligibility and academic success of our students here at Winnetonka. There's two pieces to that. There's the high school academic um, eligibility and the college. We're going to start with our high school academics. We are governed by MISHA, which is our state agency. Within that state agency, we have some very strict guidelines that we have to follow for eligibility in terms of academics and citizenship. With academics, you have to be a full-time student during the semester that you are participating in the sport or activity. You also have to have passed 7 of 8 courses in the prior semester to be academically eligible. If you have any more questions about this comes from the MISHA handbook, which is the guidelines for MISHA eligibility is 2.3.2. And the basics that you need to know and what I teach the students is that it has to be a full-time student. We are an 8-block schedule, so you have to pass 7 of 8 courses during the semester prior to your activity, and you have to gain 3.5 credits at the minimum to be able to be academically eligible through MISHA guidelines. There's a lot to that, and if there's ever any questions that you have, that's my job to help you figure those out. Either your student can come to me or we can talk on the phone, but I'm here to help with any of those questions you may have. With citizenship, we also act on the MISHA side. There's an activities handbook that we adopt here at North Kansas City School District that follows the guidelines that MISHA has for citizenship. I want to show you how you can find that. It is, if you go to our home website, www.nkcschools.org, you go to departments and programs and you click on that button, and that takes you to a screen where you can pick athletics and activities. And then from there, you can click on your high school activities handbook. And that's a document that you can download and read through. I suggest that all of our parents and our scholars read through that important handbook in terms of citizenship and eligibility. Here's a couple key points that I want to highlight from that book. Protecting your eligibility is super important that they understand all that goes into that. That's page 4 through 6. Building guidelines in terms of basic guidelines in terms of participation is pages 6 and 7. And then there's a citizenship piece on page 7 that talks specifically about what it means to be a credible school citizen. One of the important things that we deal with in occasion here is the chemical abuse policy that's on page 8 and 9. That's super important that students look at that. That's our handbook for if a chemical either drugs or alcohol are being used inappropriately, how that can affect your citizenship eligibility. Okay, on to academics, and I'm trying to go quick because I want this to be thorough, but also respect your time. Our academic goals in terms of high school and college eligibility, we have three main goals for that: to inform, support, and connect. With the information piece, we have a lot of things that we try to do in building. We have amazing counselors. We have a group called the Parent University where we invite parents in. We have a school messenger where we send out numerous pieces of information, including things about eligibility. I meet with each class group 4 times a year, so they're going to see me over 16 times if they're here from their freshman year on. And my big talk in that is about eligibility and citizenship and being a part of stuff here at Winnetonka. We have, with the pathway plan now, our high school is basically put together to try to help folks leave here with the ability to go on to college or other post secondary degree type situations. With supporting, we have our coaches, students, and parents. It's all a process of all of us together working together. Academic help here at school is super important. We have a lot of tools for kids to use. We have the SSC, we have which is basically our student success center where they can go and get help. We have our learning lab for folks that have IEPs and 504s. After school tutoring, we have lots of great people that come that are core teachers that come to help kids with after school needs to try to get caught up in their core classes. We have an ACT prep class. We have all sorts of things that are put together to try to support our students and their goals that they have academically. And then the last piece, connecting, we want to make sure that students understand the importance of additional scholarships, A+ money, coaching, recruiting visits. We'll have coaches come in and just show up and say, hey, I want to see this student who's a softball player, and we take them to them and introduce them. And so those are important things to try to connect our kids to college folks. And then we have the actual student college visits that we organize. We have a great group of people in the counseling office that put that together, where the kids can actually leave campus and go see college campuses in our area. We've had trips to MU, KU, Northwest University. And then we have college nights where we invite folks in to try to make sure they have all the knowledge they need moving forward. So I built a one pager that is based around, so you want to be a college athlete. What I try to do is take everything that is important for parents and students to know about the college athletics and put it into one easy to use document where there's QR codes that connect you to all of the resources that are out there with the NCAA, the clearinghouse, the Play NAIA, and all of the things out there that are lots of resources for students to be able to make sure they're headed in the right direction. One example of this is, like, folks always ask the difference between Division I, Division II, and NAIA. Local examples of Division I would be University of Missouri or University of Kansas. Division II would be University of Central Missouri or Washburn, where I attended. And then NAIA would be like Benedictine University or Missouri Valley College. And all of that information is connected between either the NCAA or NAIA. And I have those links there in this one pager to help you get more information. This is our last real big part. This is the directly from the NCAA academic standards, basics for eligibility. The NCAA has some key guidelines that include, obviously, graduating from high school, completing a minimum of 16 core classes, and that's for Division I and Division II, earning a minimum requirement grade point average in core classes, earning the test score on the ACT and the SAT, which I'll show you that sliding scale here in just a minute. Those are just some of the basic highlights that NCAA says that students are going to have to do while they're with us in high school. At the bottom of this, there's a link to the NCAA that has a ton of resources for you to pull up to get more in depth about the things that we're talking about today. Like I said, this is just going to be a basic overview of what needs to happen. In those resources in that link below on this bottom of this page, you're going to find helpful things like this, which is basically what do I do each year if I want to be a college athlete? Here's the basics of my freshman year, my sophomore year, my junior year, and then the senior year. There's a lot to do, but it's mostly wrapping up all the hard work you've done since the beginning of your high school career. There's tons of these resources available to you in those links that I gave you from that one pager that can help you better understand what needs to happen in certain aspects as you're moving from high school and working in high school to be able to become a college athlete. I talked about the sliding scale. Here's just a basic look at that for basic eligibility for college. There, they take your core GPA, so your core classes in high school, your core GPA on a sliding scale with your test scores. So the higher your GPA, the lower your test scores can be. And so I tell kids all the time, if you are not a good, strong test taker, really focus hard on getting great grades in your core classes. So, for instance, on this, like if you have a 3.0 core grade average, if you go across the sliding scale, you only need a 720 or a 52 on the ACT, which is the adding up of all four sections of the ACT to be able to be academically eligible for Division I schools. Division II has a slightly less restrictive sliding scale, and then Division II, there's a partial qualifier scale that you can look at. Those are all things that are accessible in those resources that I tried to give you. The key thing that I tell kids every day, and I want to focus on this, is that when kids ask me, what does it take to be a college athlete? It takes from your freshman year of high school through the senior year of your high school, focusing on your grades. It's the most important thing you can do. Only 3% of high school sports get to go on to play college sports and get a scholarship nationwide, about 3%. It's a very small number of folks. So it's super important that the academics is a huge part of your focus as a high school student if you really want to be a college athlete. I cannot emphasize that enough. I want to thank you so much for your time. Like I said, this was a general overview, but if you have any questions about any of this stuff, you can send your student to me, or we can talk on the phone, or I can set up a meeting if you want to come in and meet with me more about academics during the high school year. We have a great group of counseling folks that support our kids in their journey through their high school career. But we're here to try to help you and make sure that we have all the resources you need to be successful. Once again, my office number is 816-321-4093, or my email is there below, jared.barge@nkcschools.org. Thank you so much for your time. And like I said, I'm always here to help. If we can help in any way, please feel free to reach out. It's always a great day to be a Griffin. Thank you.